welcome back
Welcome.
to the No Rep podcast. I'm with Danny and Evan. Do you know what actually takes me a wee second to, like, when whoever I'm pointing at, to not get the name wrong? And it's not because I don't know your names, it's just trying to compute who's where.
Who's who?
Because sometimes we change seats and stuff like that. However, we do actually have, this has kind of been the regular formation.
I like the couch.
Yeah.
Like everyone likes the couch. I like the couch.
There is quite a lot of content of you online sitting on a black couch talking into the camera though, like a kind of black leather couch. You've seen those videos?
But where he has the tash.
Yeah,
Aye.
Yeah.
Those are good.
He's got no clothes on.
If you
I'm
want,
also there's a couple of me in a taxi as well.
so you're the driver.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, if you want access to those videos, guys, just drop
www.pornhub.com/.
Big Ev, Big Papa Ev.
Papa Ev. That's
I
his.
think that would be your.
Taxi Ev.
I got a fucking parking ticket today.
Oh, mate.
What a ball ache that is, mate.
How dare those parking wardens do their job?
Bastards, man.
How
But I
dare
don't-
they?
What the fuck? What is the?
I
What's
thought I had to wait 10 minutes.
What's the point in them though? Parking tickets.
Make money for the council.
Yeah, but for the sake of like
To fix the roads that they don't fix.
I don't understand. Like, what's the concept of it? It's like you need to pay to park in this spot, right? But then if you don't pay, you need to pay more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that the concept of that not fry anyone else's brain?
Yeah. Instead
Maybe.
of just paying what you'd had to pay.
Aye. Anyway, I was trying to be super nice to the guy, so I ran out and the guy was still there. And I was like, oh, mate, I was just trying to, like, I was literally just 10 minutes.
Just had a baby.
Aye, literally just 10 minutes. I broke my legs, my back's broken. Like,
I broke my back.
he's like, off before I took the
Spinal.
See, if I was in the middle of writing the ticket, I could have probably gave you the buy, and I was like, that mate, just come on, is there anything we can do? I could give you 30 quid right. I could give you 20 quid right now. I didn't actually say that. I was like, is there anything we can do? He's like, no, and I was like, all right, okay, well, listen, mate, enjoy your day anyway. And then he didn't say it back. I'm like, I'm trying to be fucking nice to you, and you've just gave me a fine.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, so fuck that guy. Fuck Glasgow City Council too. They're shit at picking bins up and all. If we stay in,
Don't have that problem, Southland.
Team Southland.
We're basically neighbours.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, do you live close?
Literally a minute walk for each other.
Is it?
Bit too close.
Where is it then in relation to you? Because I know where you stay. 'Cause I watch you. I look through your
up
bedroom window.
towards Calder Glen.
In high school.
That's nice. Anyway, so what we getting into today? What we talking about? I'm still feeling a bit hungover from the Sprite last week in the cyberspace
In the
world.
cyberspace world.
Yeah.
Not earlier on today.
Not
No.
no. Today. If you
Uh-huh.
missed that, go tune in to the last episode. We all
fucking
did a
awful.
challenge.
Or don't.
me and
Just
Danny,
stick to this
the-
one.
we were just chatting about like times when people have like tried to chin you online for something that you've posted or one of your opinions, or sometimes when people try to call you out and all that, and it's being a public figure.
An influencer, bro? You an influencer, bro?
I'm an influencer. I'm a bit of a big deal. I have 2,000 followers. I still don't have 3,500 or something.
Damn,
And
you're famous.
I'm basically going to get like sponsorship deals now because I've got so damn many.
I know.
And it was just,
So what have you been? Have you been? So I take it you've been called out by
so
somebody.
I was bugged it like twice off the same person, right?
Is it?
Aye, yeah,
Did you block
yeah,
the
yeah,
person
yeah.
or did you offer
So
them a
see, the
spare
thing
go?
is- But I didn't block them. I was actually so polite.
Really?
It's so nice, right?
Both times or?
I think so, yes. And but basically, I'll tell you what happened, right? Because the thing is, I don't post very controversial content at all. It's
Yeah.
very, I'm vanilla.
Yeah.
I'm missionary sex.
Underrated, man. Don't.
That's just, everyone goes to it. He's all start there, but my content's missionary sex, right?
Oh, God.
And what was I posted, right? I posted, it was a snack hacks thing, right? Harmless.
Mhm.
Absolutely harmless.
In terms of, so give us a wee bit of
So-
content. Tell me about
So
the
like
post.
basically just had like not a substitute, like an alternative. So it was basically like you could have Halo Top Pops, which are 90 calories, over a Magnum, which is 240 calories.
Fair dues.
Right. Sound.
Aye.
I think that's information that people might want to know,
Aye, they could take value from.
you know, especially if you're trying to lose weight, perhaps. That would be a good swap.
Mhm.
Not even a hello.
Right.
Not even a
Straight in, no foreplay.
no foreplay.
Right.
Went in dry. She went in dry. Right. It was sore. Right. Do you consider free sugar, and the contribution of glucose metabolism to weight loss / gain. I was like,
I don't understand the question, Your Honour.
Can you repeat the question, please? and then I gave her a nice response and all that. And basically, she's a dietitian and stuff,
Right.
And she just wanted to attack like a kind of dietitian white knight,
Yeah.
like basically saying our PTs are giving like false information about this and blah 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 and all that. And I kind of like I calmed it down and stuff. And what did I say?
Were you furious deep down?
Yeah, I was
Like
fucking,
internally on fire, but then you're like, I'm going to be
well,
nice.
see, the thing
to
is, so this was like a year ago.
Uh-huh.
This was, or maybe even longer than a
Right.
year ago. So back then, I was probably more careful
Mhm.
with what I would. Now I just tell her fuck off.
Yeah.
Should be getting a voice note. Get to fuck.
You get fucked.
But see, the thing is, like I don't look at somebody's content. I don't get triggered
Mhm.
easily ever. I don't think I've ever been triggered in my life. Maybe. And but this triggered me. No,
Yeah.
no, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't look at somebody's content and then message them. But by the way, you're
Yeah.
you're a dickhead
Yeah.
for putting out that good, useful information
Yeah.
that people will benefit from. But anyway, the story continues.
Yes.
Right. Later on, months later,
Uh-huh.
I posted.
Does she follow you?
Yeah, she follows me.
Oh shit!
Right?
So she wants to see what you're
Oh,
putting
right,
out.
she just wants to hate me.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
she just
yeah.
wants to hate me.
Fuck it.
and,
She can be a follower.
She can be
Keep
a
it
fan.
fan.
Aye.
And I posted, so like, I kind of, not a restaurant guide,
Like an eating out guide or something like that.
basically all of the stuff for Greg. What am I trying to say? Like the calories and stuff.
An
Aye.
eating out guide.
Let's just say an eating out guide for
Oh.
Greg's,
Right.
right?
Okay.
Right, but
What calories
There's
are
all
for
the calories
items?
for like a steak bake, for this, for that,
Right.
for that. Because do you know what? People like Greg's.
I fucking like.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
a
Greg's,
Greg's. Aye,
right?
shout out Greg's.
Overrated.
Shout out Greg. You're no, wrong episode. We're not doing overrated. underrated.
Sorry, I get confused.
Steak bake on a roll. Thank me later. By
No,
the way.
sausage, bean and cheese melt and a butter roll.
Oh,
Also
wow.
unreal. Also unreal.
Naughty.
But yeah,
And,
carry on.
But she sent me and she went, "What are the other columns?" And I was like, I cropped it. So I basically cropped it wrong,
Right.
and then I sent it, and she went, "Thank you. Can I ask? Is this post saying is Greg's good or is Greg's bad?" And I just said to her, "No food is good or bad inherently. Right.
Which is fucking
People-
fundamentally true.
People like Greg's.
Yeah.
They just want to know what the calories in and all
Yeah.
that." She started attacking me, and then she was like, "You would look at it and you would think I should have a pastry because it's lower calories than a breakfast baguette, right? But do you know what? See, if you're trying to lose weight,
Mhm.
it's the calories that matter,
It is.
right?"
It absolutely is. It's not the
it's not
type of
insulin
food
spikes.
of what it is. Yeah.
And then she went on to obviously because see the thing is, see like she's looking at it through her lens as a dietitian or whatever. Also from a weight loss perspective, would a pastry over a baguette make sense? It's not considering glucose and lipid metabolism and the acute chronic effects of dysfunctional metabolism.
Holy fuck! She's got a fucking textbook out and she's.
But this
reading
is
through it
this
all.
is the thing. So people, because that's like her bias, right? She's I'm attacking this person because they then, and I'm not saying she's wrong. She might be fucking right, right? But I'm not saying that everyone should just go out and start eating Greg's.
Yes.
Look, here's some information. You can make an informed choice when you go to Greg's. Right? The calories are on the menus now anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Which is fucking shocking.
But it's so funny how people can have an opinion, their bias, and then just attack someone who they don't know over the internet for no reason.
Hang on, like if like you said that, so that part's very important. Like imagine you were just sitting at the pub, right? Or like a water cafe, something that she might go to or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you probably won't find something like that in a pub drinking pints of Tennent's. But imagine you were just out in public and then, why are you eating a pastry at this time in the morning? Oh, fucking hell, because I'm money. Like that's that kind of in that type of context, it just wouldn't make sense in real life. But people think that they can just do that over the internet and it be okay for like your unwarranted opinions. That someone come to your front door and be like, by the way, see that thing that you said? Like, I don't agree with it. It's like,
Ridiculous.
it's madness.
People are so bold over the internet.
Yeah.
Us as well, probably.
Well, true. I have
Keyboard warriors.
I've been known to say the odd controversial thing here and there.
You?
This guy,
That's good.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Controversial.
No, but it's not so much in fact that I've maybe said things in the past to be controversial. It's just because like maybe in the past, similar to you, Evan, where I maybe wouldn't have said what I've thought in fear of potentially hurting someone else, but by not
You can't please everybody.
yeah, by not saying the things that I believe in, like I'm not being true to myself in a way, and that's not going to rub everybody up the right way. But it's not intended to be that way.
Cancel culture is. Don't get me wrong. Like some people deserve to be cancelled.
That's very true.
Some people do very bad things.
Yes,
right? Posting calories for Greggs is not cancelable.
It's not. It's definitely not. It's definitely not. And also saying a nice wee poem on a podcast is not cancelable as well. You know, here's to love and all that. Anyway, that'll maybe come out one day.
Maybe one day.
Here's the honour.
No. They're gonna cancel us.
No, it is
See, when
true.
we get to episode 50, they'll
Release it.
release it.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. I hear something there. Oh my god! I shut myself there. So I was just hearing something in the studio. The ghosts are cutting a bit. But yeah, like so by saying something to keep everybody happy, you end up like, well, for me personally, like you're not really being true to yourself, and sometimes that is going to rub people up the wrong way. But those who are in my circle, because of the way that I am, you want them there. And if somebody doesn't really necessarily agree with that, well, I'm not going to change the person I am in order to kind of fit into your mad.
So to please everybody, there's no point in leaving your bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very true. Because the thing is, it's like, I think regardless, irrespective of what you do throughout your life, you're going to have people that are against you, and you're going to have people that are for you. Like you take, for example, like a really polarizing figure like Elon Musk, right? Who has, you know, he's bought Twitter, he's done all these mad things, he's quite outlandish.
Did he buy Twitter though?
Huh?
Is there not like this conspiracy just now saying that he didn't buy it?
Oh, really?
No, he definitely did.
What do you mean?
Who knows?
Before side tangent, go more into that. What do you mean? I've not heard this.
Because he was saying he bought it, and then folk were saying, why didn't he buy it?
Oh, really?
Yeah. But continue, sorry.
Oh, is that it?
That was it.
All right, fuck's sake.
At least have an argument, Evan.
Thanks for that, Evan.
Sorry.
Fuck's sake. But like whatever, so you got something like Elon Musk where a lot of people, you know, praise him and think, you know, they maybe put him on a pedestal, you know, richest guy in the world. Like, in many ways, he's done so much for the world. He's produced fucking countless jobs. He's made lots of millionaires for people that have bought shares in his company. He's, you know, trying to make the planet a little bit more self-sufficient through electric cars and stuff like that. But no, he's an absolute scumbag for not paying enough tax. He's, you know, he's a scumbag for, I don't know, having money, doing this elsewhere when he could be donating it to homeless people, whatever. But then it's like, but he's done so much for the world, but then on the other hand, it's like, oh no, he's a capitalist, he's this, he's that. And it's kind of like, well, fucking hell, like, what you meant to do? He's paid, I actually seen, I think it's like Elon Musk has paid more tax in the world than anybody else. Like, has paid more, right? But then he's not doing enough. Granted, everybody can always do more, but you're not going to please everyone, because then if he just gives all his money away to people that want it for some other reason, then that's going to piss other people off, being like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are, you're never going to please everyone.
See, the thing is as well, he probably does give loads to charity and all that as well, but see, at the end of the day, he worked for his money.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? He done the work.
Aye. Here's something.
So why should, you're not obliged to give money to fucking anybody.
Aye. Yeah. Well, in a way, yeah. Taxes.
Yeah.
But I seen a thing potentially controversial, and it was like, why is it selfish to want to keep the money that you've worked for, but it's not selfish for people to demand money for the thing that you've worked for? Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
I think I get stupid though there.
Huh? I didn't maybe articulate that correctly. Essentially, the thing was saying that why is it deemed selfish to want to keep the money that you've earned, right? To keep all the money that you have earned and worked hard for, but it's not deemed selfish for someone else to want money from someone else. Yeah, you know what I mean? Which I kind of, I seen like a little bit of logic in that, and I was like, that kind of makes sense. But then, well, that's by the by. Yeah. Someone's chinned me for something online before, believe it or not. But it was way before. The one that springs to mind is way before I was a PT. And I posted, I've been into the gym for years, and I remember on Facebook I posted a picture of like an old lady. I'm going to see if I can try and find it. It was like an old lady deadlifting. And I think she was It was a picture was taken in a CrossFit gym, but she was deadlifting, and I posted it, and I tagged my mate Kyle again. Shout out Kyle.
Shout out
I
Kyle.
went, this old lady deadlifts more than you, ha ha ha. And I got a few comments on there, and then there was a guy that commented saying, "Oh, deadlifts are rubbish movement anyway." And I was like, "How so?" Like, what do you mean? And I was relatively new to the gym at that point, so I was like, maybe this guy knows a bit more than me, and he was bigger than me, and he'd been training longer than me. And I was like, all right, okay, well, how so? And he was like, well, how much muscle is a deadlift put on your back? And I was like, but what do you mean? So, and then the conversation kind of unraveled, and basically he was saying about how deadlifts are stupid and how deadlifts are harmful and dangerous, and like the risk versus reward is like negligible. And I was kind of just thinking, I was like, even back then, I was like, this guy's fucking chatting shit. He's chatting shit, because if you just look at things, from a bigger lens and be like, right, if you look at MD that's got like a large deadlift, right? They typically carry a lot of size, right? Just as a byproduct of being able to move a lot of weight. So granted, there's people out there that maybe don't deadlift but still have these awesome physiques, but it's like, it's just because he had a bad experience with that movement, he maybe hurt his back, or he doesn't maybe do it, then it's stupid for everyone else to do, just because his opinion was his, but then everybody else had to share his opinion, and it fucking get well heated. And I was like, bro, relax,
See the
man.
thing as well, but there's people say so much with so much conviction in life, and the people believe them. Doesn't matter what they're saying, they just say it with so much conviction, like, that's right, that person speaking the truth. And that's just how you get people that fall into like so many biases in the industry, man.
Aye, it's like if you watched any of those mad documentaries about there was a Luther
Like
one
the sugar.
that just came out not long ago, and it was the guy that
My money don't Jacob.
he's basically talking about almost like white supremacists in America. Have you seen this? It's like the newer Luther ones that just came out like not long ago. You've watched this, surely? No?
The guy, he's a New Zealander?
No, so I forgot the guy's name, but basically he was like created his own political party, and was basically like, no, I think it was America First. Something like that. But basically, like, imagine like Donald Trump and his party, but like 1,000x. Like, like, we don't want any immigrants or any people of color. But the thing is, he goes out there,
Pesky immigrants, God.
goes out there and just like says it with such conviction. And this guy's only like 20 or 21, and he has a huge following, because whatever he's saying, he says it with his chest, and he says it without any regard for anyone else. But people are into that, and people follow him, and people get on board, and then they go along with it. So you're right, Danny.
It's
like,
basically Herbalife.
Aye,
It's just
basically. Which, by the way, how would they still in existence?
Blows my
Are they
mind.
still in existence?
I think so. Well, things like Herbalife, and then like the cutting coffee, the slimming coffee, the Boo tea. How are these guys still alive?
Don't fucking know, man.
Because it's money in it.
No,
The people who are in it like about $1, so they just keep pushing it and pushing it and
I
pushing
know,
it.
but how is that information not been stricken from, like, here, by the way, that's not actually going
We're going to strike that from the history
It should
books.
be.
Aye. No, do you know what I mean? No, like, how is
Should
that
be
not
banned.
like,
Oh, fuck.
what can we do to stop this?
Just start a movement.
Start a movement.
Keep
Yeah.
keep talking about it.
Suppose bring it to limelight.
I think James Smith does a good job at bringing it up, doesn't he? He talks about it a lot.
Has,
Some World and all the rest of it.
He's been brought up quite a lot in the podcast, whether it be in good lights, whether it be in, well, not maybe necessarily bad lights, but he certainly is doing a very, very good job in trying to like cut through the bullshit and cut through the booties and expose these charlatans for who they actually are.
Big word.
Good one.
Is that a
Well
good
done.
word
Yeah,
alert?
yeah,
we'll
give you it, we'll
good
give you
word
it.
alert. But no, have you had any experience of people calling you out, or is it just because everything you say is right?
Everything I say is right, and people
We'll
just
chat
take
about
one look
mine's
at me and
back.
just think, I'm not going to say it to that guy.
That's true. They're probably a little bit too intimidated as well. to
It's
start
intimidation. It's all intimidation.
anything. That is true.
No, I don't know. I can't. Maybe, probably, no doubt, but I can't remember. Cannot remember.
No, that was quite good. I like talking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's great. But see, the thing is like, my mum used to always say to me, so, like, don't put that on that Facebook.
On the Facebook.
But now our job literally is being on that Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, Instagram.
Yeah.
Innit?
Aye, true.
So
True.
it's like, I kind of need to.
Kinda need
And
to.
like you said before, not
Was
everybody's
that
going to
no
agree with you.
nudies though, Evan?
You saying?
she meant the nudies.
The nudies.
Don't put the nudies on.
Yeah, so see the links to the videos that you're doing,
Don't
like
put
in the
them on.
taxi, and on the couch.
Aye,
Like, don't put them on Facebook because Auntie Barbara's not happy seeing Papa Ev perform.
Bye.
Or not.
It's quick videos only.
It's basically shorts.
I'm
It's
in a log of
YouTube
shorts.
shorts.
It's
It's
like-
YouTube shorts. I know. Well, it was actually their Vines. It was only like 7 or 9
Fuck,
seconds
do you remember
long.
Vines?
Mate,
It was 7 seconds. That was on repeat 5 times.
Vine was fucking unreal. I don't understand how it crashed though, because Vine basically is TikTok in a way, innit?
Vine was better than TikTok.
Yeah, like
Vines were
old Vine
hilarious,
videos
man.
were fucking unbelievable.
Is that not how like Logan Paul and that got?
Potentially.
One of the ways, maybe YouTube and
there's a lot of there was that King Back. You see, he's like a popular, like a famous skit type guy, and all these guys that do these kind of skits. He started on Vine, and how his Vines were like unreal. I shout at Vine.
Totally off topic. See it kind of around about that era as well. Do you know whose videos I was watching the other night? Do you remember Kimbo Slice?
Yes, yes, I do. Fucking shout.
Yep.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Big
man.
man.
Aye, R.I.P. Kimbo, mate. Guys, go to you talking about like the street
Street
fights
fights.
where he's fighting the police officer and stuff like that.
Aye.
Probably.
Aye.
Wild.
Madness.
Even hits punch people in the belly.
Yeah.
And they just
Oh,
dissolve.
unbelievable.
Thing is though, that goes to show like the level of like people's abilities to fight. So you say, for example, so someone who's mental enough to fucking in the middle of Miami fight this fucking giant 6-foot black guy with a beard and chains on, right? Someone that's mental enough to do that can obviously
And
fight.
he's bald up the top
Bald
as
up
well.
top and then cornrows
Crazy.
at the side, right?
Crazy.
But suited it really well.
Yeah. So the guy, yeah. So the guy's like, imagine you take Kimbo Slice and some guy that wants to fight him in somebody's back garden, right? Mental, but the person can obviously fight. But Kimbo used to dice them up and fucking win, right? But then
Cut them up.
but then he went to the UFC, and then Kimbo Slice like or went into MMA. He beat a couple of people, but was never like top 10 heavyweight or anything like that. But then you think about how good those guys are. It's like there's just like levels to it, man, like levels. So
Absolutely. But I was like, I found myself in a Kimbo hole for like an
Really?
hour just watching all the old videos.
Aye.
Kimbo,
Okay.
you find yourself in Kimbo's hole.
And
Kimbo's
in the taxi.
Do you know he actually his job? He was a security guard for Reality Kings.
I would be so scared of him if I ever
Yeah.
met him. I'd be like,
Yeah, he
hello,
was-
Kimbo, sir. I'm so sorry. I did not mean it.
Aye, like he was a security guard or bouncer or whatever, like for Reality Kings. I think you know what Reality Kings are. It's-
Those Reality Kings.
Never mind. On to the next topic.
Next topic.
On the
Um,
subject of videos, do you remember? Did you used to watch like Greg Plitt? Remember the guy I was trying to think of, Greg Plitt?
I never
What
really
about-
watched him. Is that
Yeah,
the
but-
guy that died?
Aye,
Did he die?
He did.
Was it
Doing a
something to do
photo
with
shoot.
train?
doing a photo shoot. Aye,
What was that?
if it's something to do with like he was doing a photo shoot and something happened in the tracks and he couldn't get caught or something happened in the
Did he
train.
get,
said
did he
something
get
about
run
a
over
movie.
by a train?
Aye,
Is that how? I
That
thought
or
that was some
electrocuted?
urban myth.
no, he did definitely. Aye,
That's fucking mental.
aye. R.I.P. Greg Plitt. No, but I remember like you back in the day, just kind of getting into the gym. It was
Zeus.
watching Z's. It was it was watching. No, sorry, Zeus. It was watching Zeus. It was watching Greg Plitt. It was watching Kimbo Slice. It was watching the Travellers, and it was Paddy Doherty and all the rest of it. And
Oh,
he used to
I'm
just
not
watch all
with
he used to just watch all these fighting
Fools
things
any
and
man,
motivational
any man,
fitness
10
things.
grand a
Aye.
hearse.
And
But
just
that was like before the gym.
Oh,
Before the gym, hit yourself up, and then you go to the gym and have a crap workout.
I used to watch Physiques of Greatness. Chris Jones.
No.
Chris Jones, remember him? He done
Physiques
bits
of
with
Greatness.
Christian Guzman. Remember that?
Did
They
what?
done a wee video together.
Did they?
Chris Jones and Christian
They've
Guzman.
probably
Aye.
done a lot of collabs. The only kind of fitnessy type.
Where's he
YouTuber-
went to? He's gone.
I
yeah.
don't know, man. But
I've seen
I used to watch all of those guys, and there's probably if there's any guys watching that are into the gym and were into the gym back then, probably know who those guys like the Hodge twins and stuff
Aye.
like that. But like, see,
Hey man,
back in the gym, the Hodge twins. But I used
spitting on me, man.
we should reenact it.
Right?
They actually popped up on Instagram not too long ago. They got big, pure long grey beards now.
Oh really?
Aye, it's mad. They're still doing videos though.
I love that.
They're still doing videos. I fucking forgot what I was going to say.
I used to get food. They'd sit in the car.
Huh?
They'd sit in the motor with their food, and they'd always do videos. and
Oh
they'd
yeah.
so
Aye.
funny.
No, but the only YouTube guy.
Stop smacking your lips,
Stop
man. He's
smacking
like,
your
"Shut
lips
up."
when I'm talking, man. But I used to watch. I watched. Do you watch any Seabum's videos?
Aye.
Yeah, Daddy Seabum.
See
He's
them.
the goat. Shout out
Savage.
Seabum. When he's next here, he's actually going to come on the show. I was over DMing. So Chris Bumstead fans, keep your eyes tuned for him coming on.
Episode 1000.
Him coming on the cast. But yeah, so.
Yeah, we were also talking about overwhelm. So basically, kind of what to do if you're feeling overwhelmed or mentally feeling a bit deflated or a bit fatigued. Like, what do you do if you're feeling a bit?
What do I do?
Or Danny?
So when things feel like they are getting a bit too much, which is every now and then, I am typically not. We were just saying this kind of before we started this. Like, I'm not the biggest like stress head in the world. I maybe kind of used to be.
Very laissez-faire.
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 And in fact, I don't think that's the right term.
Laid back, laissez-faire.
No, so because I was just in France there, I kept saying that, and then Katie's dad and Katie were like laughing, going, "That's not what that actually means, laissez-faire."
I'm going to do a Google.
You Google that because I kept saying it as well.
Because laissez-faire just sounds like lazy.
That's mad how you've brought it up because I kept saying that like to them on holiday, and they were like, "That's not what that fucking means."
What does laissez-faire? Talking about government and shit.
Yeah, it's something to do with the government.
Nah,
mate, it is
laissez-faire, democratic.
Laissez-faire means let it be.
Does it?
Yeah.
No, but you've got laissez-faire, like government parties. Democratic.
There is. It's like something to do with some form of political party. Because I kept.
Laissez-faire.
There you go. Producer Paul's.
There you go.
The laissez-faire or laissez-faire leadership style, one of the most laid-back approaches to leading is the laissez-faire style. So we're kind of right.
I'm kind of right. So yes, I'm very, laissez-faire. I have a certain je ne sais quoi when it comes to.
All right, Henri.
Henry.
What's French? It's French for Vavavim. But I remember those adverts. What the fuck are we talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about.
What did you do? Yeah.
Oh, what did I do when I'm stressed out? So yes, I am typically a little bit more laid back than more people, but that can sometimes be to my detriment because, the world can be on fire and I'm just, fuck it, like it is what it is. Like sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes, because, if you're not going to worry about like that old cheesy saying, if you're not going to worry about it in 5 years, why would you worry about it for 5 minutes? And I do have that approach in a way. Like when I was in school, I never really studied for tests or exams or anything like that. I was just like, fuck it, like whatever happens. And the test that you probably should have studied for, I failed, but the things I was good at and I took enjoyment in, I passed and I did really well in. So I was never really stressed out about that sort of stuff. I remember there was one job, I just quit one of my old jobs, just right off a whim, just quit, didn't have anything else lined up, and I was kind of like, fuck it, it'll work out. So I'm typically that kind of guy, but a lot of people say to me sometimes, I wish I was more like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, nah man, it's not good. Like sometimes it's not good because I'll get a parking ticket right now that I'll probably just fucking not pay, and then they'll send me another one. I'm like, fuck, and I'll get a letter about it. I should maybe sort it out now. So I always leave things to the last minute and maybe kind of bury my head in the sand. So it's actually one of the areas in my life I'm probably trying to work on a bit more. I've not got everything figured out, believe it or not. So I'm trying to maybe we know. So I'm trying to maybe work on that a little bit. What would you say you do to cope with that? Because you're probably maybe a better person.
Yeah, because I feel like obviously the older I got, when life didn't go as planned, and I went, oh my god, life doesn't just actually work out for everybody. And then I started realising I was getting stressed more frequently, and I was trying to stop the stress, which was like the wrong way of approaching it, instead of actually realising, you know what, stress is just a part of life. Just how do I deal with it? You know what I mean? This is what it kind of comes on to. So that, I guess that helps, because I don't actually get annoyed when I get stressed now, which I used to. So why am I feeling like this? Why am I getting stressed? Which then makes you more stressed.
There was a period, see, when you were going through a kind of tough time.
Yeah.
Very difficult to be around.
Yeah.
Because it was just projecting his stress.
Man,
not attacking him, just
did not know how to deal with it.
Didn't know how to deal, but then because he couldn't handle it, everybody else was getting it.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Wasn't nice to be
because
around.
people have said to me, like, now that know you now, that knew you back then and know you now, like, Danny's
a different person.
Changed.
Yeah. See that, right? Just as a slight side tangent, I used to get that. So like, there was if some of my pals are listening to me, I won't dive too much into, but I was getting the phrase, you've changed, chucked at me quite a lot. And I was like, but you've not. And I was like, you're meant to change. You're meant to
totally.
grow. You're meant to develop. Like I'm still a bit of a dafty, and I'm still fucking loud and arrogant or whatever some people might think. But like I'm not a wee fanny anymore. Like that used to be in school that would just do stupid shit and fucking go out every single weekend. Like you're right, I have changed, but you haven't. And like there's not people sometimes fear that. Like fucking hell, or they'll say that to Danny's changed. He's a bit different. It's like, well, it's a good thing. He's maybe doing something that he wants to do. He's being who he wants to be now, rather than just trying to impress everyone else.
Daniel from the south side.
Danny the old.
So,
Totally. You go, sorry.
So no, I would say just realising that stress is fine. Just how do you deal with it, and then how do I deal with it? I just do the things that I do. It's like I keep myself busy with business.
Routine.
Like and then I step back. Routine it is. I step back from I keep myself busy with business. I've now learned when to step back when I need to, sort of thing, which is a big thing. People like know when to step back and actually just take a day for yourself, and people call it a mental health day. It is obviously it helps your mental health, taking a day when I need it, sort of thing, and no feeling bad for it.
Yeah.
Obviously working out, fucking hey, the PT says work out, like, but it helps me. Like I always feel better after a workout, and I just keep the best routine I can keep.
Yeah, I've actually, so now that you kind of speak about that, there is an element of my life I do kind of get stressed out about when you mentioned business there, and like see when, you know, right now I'm in a place now where I'm really trying to be more organized with what I do. I've got certain days where I do certain tasks, and when I kind of slightly fall behind that, especially with my training as well, if it's not done in certain times, I do get a little bit stressed out with that. Like this morning was a good example, like especially since having Hattie, things are obviously different, having to, you know, get her ready. Katie needs time to get ready and stuff like that as well. So getting all that kind of stuff organized on the days where I'm not in early for work, like, which they'll always run over. And when I've not scheduled that into my diary and I've got all this shit to do, like come and do a podcast and go and train and have calls with clients and stuff like that, like I'll get stressed and anxious and worked up about it. But what I used to do was go, fuck it, day's fucked. Like might as well just you know, fuck, I'll pick it up again tomorrow, which is the worst thing to do. The thing that you do in order to get over that is like what I found that action overcomes any anxiety or stress that you'll have doing something. Like that's what I found personally. Now I'm not super qualified to speak on like anxiety and stress and whatever, but I'm just sharing my experiences and what I found, that whenever I'm stressed or whenever I have like a decent bout of anxiety kind of building up and I know it's kind of getting there, see when I just start doing things, like whether I start working, whether I just go to the gym, whether I go out or walk, like see just sitting there and stewing in it, fucking it does nothing, man. It does nothing. So like maybe it's potentially could be deemed as unhealthy because you're like, oh, you're just distracting yourself from what's actually going on. But I find that
avoidance. Avoidance.
Yeah, but in a way I feel that I'm not avoiding the thing. I'm actually tackling it head on by doing the thing that makes me feel better.
Can I interrupt you? Right, you're bang on. So there's two ways you can go about it. There's two actions you can take, and I feel that there's one that will make you feel more overwhelmed, and there's one that will take away the overwhelm. And you're talking about the action, the right type of action, but there's the wrong type of action.
Yes.
The wrong type of action would be, like, I know it's easier said than done. I've been in a position where I feel like I just want to sleep all day. Like I've been there for the next part I'm about to say, just about to cover myself when I say this. Like feeling the need just to kind of sleep all the time or whatever, or like just sleep the day away because you're like, okay, it'll just make me feel better. Or sitting on your phone and playing the game just to distract yourself, or just scrolling to distract yourself. Like doing the things to distract yourself are only going to lead you to feel more overwhelmed because you're actually, even though you're doing something, you're doing fucking nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, that's what I meant by taking action. Like the action I'm taking is like I'm doing the shit that's going to ultimately either move my business forward, or I'm looking after the people that I currently serve, or whether that be looking after myself, the dog, whatever. Like that's the type of action.
It's a positive kind of distraction.
Yeah, totally. What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah,
I listen to piano music.
Yeah, listen to Mozart. Wow.
No, what I is my mental health something down like a lot of the time.
Like most guys, yeah.
Most people, I think guys don't talk about it enough.
No.
Like I went out for a night out there, and then I didn't do any work stuff or post for a week because I was totally overcome with anxiety.
Really? What, before or after the event?
After the event.
So after the event,
just because the way because it was an all day session, and I don't really drink anymore. So and I didn't really not that I didn't want to. I was having so much fun, but it's not really me anymore.
Yeah.
But I was doing it whatever. But then for a full week I was ruined.
Really?
And then I'm still picking up the pieces in terms of like catching up with business and in whatever else, because I was crippled for a week.
What do you think? Look at me, I'm sitting here. What do you think triggers that then?
I think it's just because alcohol's a depressant, isn't it?
And true.
And it just for me, I actually just don't think it's very good for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that especially in the west of Scotland, that it's probably not great for anyone, but it's probably not great for a lot of people, but they do it anyway, out of peer pressure, out of thinking it's the social norm, or just not being able to say no. And most times, Danny will know that if I don't want to do something, I'm like, no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm
very
blunt.
Yeah.
I'm very blunt, and I'm just
which
like,
is good, because you want to manage your time and live life
I don't want
terms.
to do that because it doesn't align with me or whatever. But to take away from that, and in general, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or kind of mentally fatigued, I think being able to identify it is actually a skill in itself. And a lot of people need to be more, I suppose it sounds a bit wanky, at one with themselves and be able to identify their triggers, self-aware. Yeah, good way to put it.
And if you weren't, that could go on a lot longer than a week.
Oh,
and you wouldn't understand why you're feeling the way
you're
you're
in a
feeling.
hole and you don't even realise it. What I
Stop
do...
taking ketamine then.
But I like it. I like it a lot.
Disclaimer: he doesn't. He does not take it.
I'm
not anymore.
I'm an athlete. Well, there was a time when I was a young man, festivals and that. And no, I honestly see really helps me. This is John just spilled juice over himself. And
what did you actually spill?
No, it was like a dribble. Yeah, show goes on.
Show goes on. Being outside, I know that sounds really basic information, but there's something so grounding and calming about actually being outside. Because see, the thing is, see if you're stressed at your box, at your 9 to 5, and then you've got to commute home, and then you've got kids to deal with, and then you're maybe trying to go to the gym and stuff yourself, because no matter what way you look at it, the gym is actually stress. It's good stress, right? But it's still extra stress in the body. It's still this other thing. And then you're maybe not getting actually any time to yourself to 8 or 9 at night. And then do you know what? It's bedtime.
Yep.
And you've not seen the sunlight. You've not, especially in the winter and stuff.
There's only so much shit you can fill your cup up with.
Ah, exactly. So taking some time. I like to go to the beach. I'm from the seaside. I like to go and just chill. And I know, like, see if I'm really up to here, I just need to remove myself from what's happening. Go to the seaside, take the Doug, and realize. And somebody said to me, I can't remember who it was, very basic advice, like I was worried about something. I was like, I really worked up, and he said to me, is anybody going to die? And I was like, no. What the fuck are you worrying about then?
I know.
Are you going to die? No, I'm not going to die.
I think that's the people do say that. You're feeling like a bit are you in danger? No, you're sitting on the couch at home, you're fine. Do you know what I mean? But
sound.
Perspective on a lot of things is huge. And like, well, we had a little bit of, me and Katie were kind of, I was trying to talk to Katie about this. So when Hattie was born, she was very jaundiced, like her levels kind of shot up really high. And baby's first born, and then you're kind of told that, oh yeah, you'll have to. So she went inside the kind of little bit of an incubator type thing. And it's totally fine. It's very normal for, I think it's super common for babies' jaundice levels to kind of be up and down. But we actually, so when she was born, we were out the hospital the next day, right? And then you have like a kind of series of checkups from midwives to kind of come out to the house. So they came out, tested her, our levels have went up. So they were fine when we first left. Levels have went up. You need to go back into the hospital. Because fuck, like, I've just took the baby home like a day. We have to go back into the hospital, and then we had to leave her there and then go home. So it's a bit like, oh fucking hell, like baby's just born. And especially for like, I think for women or for someone who just gave birth to a baby, like there's got to be some form of instinct within them that they want to be with their baby, and obviously hormones are going to be all over the place. So we had that to deal with, and then when we went in, and then we're sitting in a room, and there's kind of 6 other babies that are in this room, and then we're up at the back corner, and you're in the NCIU, the neonatal intensive care unit or whatever, which is like fucking big scary, like. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, I know she's fine, and I know that this is normal. Doctors have advised us that this, it's protocol. We need to bring our levels down. This is what we need to do. This is the best place for your child, right? It's absolutely fine. But then you see other like, so, but I'm at that point, I'm like, fucking hell, this is really, really hard to kind of deal with. Like, we've been away from our kid from a night. We spent one night in the, they've got like wee rooms, like wee beds that you can go sleep in and stuff like that. We spent a night in there, and I'm like getting all worried and anxious, but I don't want to portray that over to Katie, who's probably feeling a million times what I am. But then I was sitting there and I was looking at some of the other babies in that room, and I was like, fucking hell, I was like, I'm glad to be in this position because there's nothing wrong with her. She just needs to sit in an incubator for a day or two, and then she's going to be out. She's going to be fine. But there's some babies in that room that have been born super premature, and it's like, do you know what I mean? And they're needing intensive care, and then that just drew an overwhelming amount of perspective to me, to being like, well, you know, my situation's shite. Yeah, I mean, fucking hell. Of course, I'd love to be home with a nice, wee, healthy baby and everything to be hunky dory. But there's other families out there that are dealing with something a whole lot worse than what I'm going through. And that's like something that obviously, you know, I was trying to talk to Katie with about at the time. And obviously she's finding it hard. And she's like, well, perspective, it fucking doesn't matter. It's my child. Like, that's all I can think about right in that moment in time. But, you know, looking back on it now, we can both kind of look at it with a bit of a different lens and be like, well, yeah, perspective does kind of matter, because ultimately we knew everything was fine and everything was okay. But some people are dealing with things a lot worse. So our situation isn't that bad. You know what I mean? So you can take that into other aspects of your life. Not
perspective.
Babies.
Perspective.
I'm quite moved by that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Let me tell a dirty joke now to fucking.
Well, see the last thing on, like, we're all talking about how we deal with things. I guess for them to listen, just find your own thing, because try the workout, try the walk, try whatever, and just try. Because for me, it's different for it is from Jordan, in the same way, Evan. So that shows you that isn't it just one thing that fits
we
all.
do
like,
all deal with these
all deal
things
with differently.
ways,
So for you as a person, like, you just need to try different things, and one thing will make you feel better.
Yeah, totally.
Good.
Totally. What was the next thing?
We've got one last wee thing to cover.
Oh yeah. Go. Let's go for it.
What's your favourite thing about me? Knock it on.
Your luscious beard.
Yes, yeah, that's everyone's.
Do you condition your beard?
I do, yeah.
Do you?
I use herbal essences.
Right, okay. Same with it. Is it the same one that you don't use like a specialist beard type thing? Danny, just you go on your phone for 5 minutes. We're going to talk about beards. But just a point, you want to jump into Danny's seat.
How to
applause about massive
I'm just googling how to kill someone and not get.
Okay, cool.
So you just use the shampoo.
Does it get sulfates in it, or?
I don't know. I just use herbal essences every single damn day.
Right, here's it. Do you want to know? So I've not used shampoo in like a month.
Same.
Do you know
Did you see
there's
TikTok?
a movement, the No Poo Club?
So I was actually
Is that
doing
what you're talking about? No Poo?
Aye.
No, I've not seen that, but I've seen that after the fact. Is that from that Dave Chains guys? No.
Don't know.
So, but I've not used shampoo in ages, and the reason for that is when we got a bathroom done up, Katie bought all these nice fancy things, and then she put her special shampoo into these
the
special
one that you're not allowed to use
that matches the bathrooms, and can't use it because it apparently costs like £4 million for a bottle of shampoo. And I'm thinking
decorative shampoo.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Right, fine, fuck it. So I literally just use like a bar of soap, right? That's all I use, and I use it on my hair and beard and face, and I've actually feel better. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think apparently, see, because like the first 2 weeks your hair goes mega greasy and all that, then after it, the natural oils and all that come back.
Aye, like I just don't.
Well, see, because you've got quite afro hair.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know if that's maybe different. I don't know.
You should, like, I think it's
you get that different hair.
No sulfates, because I've googled, because I've got kind
of
sulfates supposedly dries your hair out.
Does it?
Anyway,
this is a podcast.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks for tuning in. Shampoo commercials.
Just what's a couple of things that your clients are struggling with just now? Or things that you've noticed within the community and whatever, because that'll maybe transfer across to the listeners in the world and that.
Because a lot of people have the same problems.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Do you know there's one I was thinking about?
Is it routine?
No, it wasn't. I mean, as it is, I'd probably say it's one of the hardest things. Everybody juggling their routine is probably the hardest thing. So I think it might actually be probably
routine
juggling it. Do you know what I mean? And I guess knowing when to push and when to pull. is probably like a big one for people.
I
think
both just speak about this before.
It takes a skill, I think, to know when you have to push and when you have to pull.
Yeah.
Pushing being like going for it, like everything's like full throttle, like you're trying to smash every single thing that week. But then obviously not every week that's going to be doable. So then you would then pull. And I guess that's probably just juggling that, I would say, for people's being is can be tough at times. Can be a thing to struggle with.
One thing that I've found is that I'll have a handful of people within my kind of client base that it's finding that they have lapses of like being super accountable and being super on it, and then lapses of them falling off. And then I would say the biggest thing that I need some of my guys to work on is that when they fall off, you get that radio silence.
Yeah.
I'm sure you all experience that when people don't do the things, they end up hiding.
Yeah.
And then thinking,
like
if I hide and I don't get back to them, he knows that everything's hunky dory. And the thing is, when people are the loudest and when people are talking inside the Facebook group and when people are messaging back on time, like that's when I know things are fucking going really, really well.
Yeah.
And then when things 99 times if people are taking a bit of time to kind of respond and people are not as engaging as they were before, I know I will something's off. Yeah.
And that's just something,
that's probably the thing that I would say they're kind of struggling with a little bit just now, which is perfectly normal.
It is
a normal thing. But talking,
but this is the thing. My coach, my mentor Matt, shout out Matt Optimize, he always says, "What run to me, never run away from me."
Like
do you know what I mean? And like, it goes with us.
Frame.
Always run to
stealing.
us. Never run away from us. And it's just when he says it, you're like, it's so true, man. Like I feel like even like I've had my own worries with stuff, and I didn't run to him. And then he's like, well, why would you know?
Yeah.
It's literally why I'm here.
That makes sense, because I remember when it was like at the start of
do you know what I mean?
Kind of like, and then you actually had that. Yeah, I remember. But it makes sense, because we think that because we're all clients of other people as well.
Yeah.
We do the same things that our clients do to us.
Yeah.
Because we're all people, aren't we?
We're all the same.
We're all the same. We just all have different problems at different levels and at different kind of points in the journey, don't we?
Oh, totally. Yeah. It's all the same problems but different.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
But how are we overcoming these problems? What's some wins? Give me some gold, some juice. What's been happening inside each of our programs? Because hopefully, I assume we're all kind of half decent at our jobs.
Yeah. Evan.
Who's been? Shout out somebody in your program.
Shout out. Do you know somebody that's really stepped up just massively? It's like I've got a helper. It's like she's the other half of the Blueprint team.
We know exactly.
You know exactly who it is. Podcast by Laura Fussy.
Shout out Laura Fussy.
Biggest shout out ever. Biggest shout out ever.
Massive shout out. And do you know, see, the thing is as well, like, so Laura came into my program maybe 2 years ago. I don't even know, but similar to myself, massively anxious and like see all the things that she's kind of doing now. Like she's posting the group, she's going runs, she's meal prep.
I've seen the meal prep thing.
The meal prep Monday, right? She, like posted every Monday for like 52 weeks in a row.
Wow.
Like consistency.
Yeah.
Absolute consistency. And that's the problem that not that my clients have, but just something that I've noticed with people is that they just struggle to be consistent.
Yes.
You know, and this is across the board. This is everybody in the industry and stuff.
Even
like
us.
Yeah, us.
Stuff we need to do, like business wise.
It comes just back down to systems, but also reaching out for help.
Yeah.
Because if you are struggling with consistency, doing what you're doing currently obviously isn't working.
Yeah.
You need
do what you've always done. You'll get what you've always got.
100%.
I know that's shout out Laura.
Shout out Laura. Right, what about you?
What have you got?
I want to shout out Chris Oven. Just going to shout out people. Shout out Chris. He says something every check-in. I just follow the plan, and he says it in a different way. And now he's saying it in wee jokes and stuff, and he's fitting it in somewhere on the check-in. And he says, like, he'll put wee choo-choo trains in that. I don't know. He just does things that make me laugh.
Every single week he just says, "I'm just following the plan."
I just follow the plan, so he doesn't overcomplicate. He says he just stays as consistent with the things I've told him to, and he just follows the plan.
See, if folk just followed the plan,
fuck me,
we
man.
put it in,
ridiculous.
Do you know what, guys? We put it in place for a reason, because it works. Do you know what I mean? And I know that's like, but just follow the plan.
Just follow
it's
the
like,
plan.
And he always says it, and I'm like, it's so good.
So it's just a running theme now. That is class. That's class.
Wrap us up. One more,
last one. I'm gonna shout Chloe Mackey.
Shout out Chloe Mackey.
Shout out Chloe Mackey. So she has been she's been crushing it since she came on. So she came on in January. She's actually the better half of one of my very close clients and good friends, Andy. So Andy sent her my way. She's wanted to kind of get into shape and stuff like that, but she's been dealing with a lot of things inside the gym. Like she's been riddled with back injuries and, you know, not having the confidence to then go back into the gym and start to, you know, accelerate her performance and really start to push the boundaries of what she's actually capable of. And it's actually been mad to see, like, so almost every single week since she came on since January, it's been like £1 a week it's averaged out at. And, you know, there's been times where it's kind of been up and down or plateaued a bit, but generally that's kind of where we're sitting at. And having someone like her in the program is kind of like a bit of a breath of fresh air. Typically, for it's maybe like 90% guys like fucking lift weights and fucking run far and do all this, bench press. And you know, I've got wee Chloe. She's coming on, and then in the kind of monthly team meetups, like we had one in January or February, and then there's a little bit of a gap, and then we had one just before I went on holiday, and then we were back squatting in the first one, and then she's added like 20-30 kilos onto her back squat into the next one, and I'm like, fucking hell. It's like
on your cell hen.
It's honestly, I was just watching it all unfold, and I was like, this is fucking mad. She just kept,
a proud dad.
Yeah, she just kept putting weight in the bar, and I was like, for someone that's apparently, you know, riddled with back injuries, like showing up some of the boys that were turning up, like lifting the same weight, if not more, than some of the other guys. I was kind of like, this is fucking cool to see. So I loved seeing that unfold, and it gives you a wee bit of reassurance to being like, yeah, no, what we are doing is like, is helping people. Yeah. And even just knowing that you're helping just one person,
that's the thing.
It's like, it's so rewarding. It just makes it cool, like what we do. Like,
I think it's a cool job.
Aye, best job ever, isn't it?
It is.
That and being a dad, I'd recommend.
That's cute.
I'd recommend.
Nah, babies are shit.
And a dog dad, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And a dog dad, of course.
Awesome.
But yeah, happy with that, boys?
Yes. Sound good episode.
It's been a good episode. Episode number...
Who knows?
Fuck knows at this point. Of the No Rep podcast. Stay tuned in for more shit soon.
Subscribe if you haven't.
Follow everyone. We're going to do a giveaway.
We are our next episode.
No, I've just thought.
He's just decided.
We spoke about this before I went away, right?
Did.
We're gonna. I don't know if have you brought it up with him? Does he know what he's getting himself in for?
We'll tell him later.
So we are going to do a giveaway. You share any of our episodes on your Instagram and you tag all of us and the page. You are in with a chance to win a night away at the Blytheswood Hotel.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm going to share it.
Can I share it?
So, 3 simple steps. Listen to an episode, right? Share it on your socials, and then follow all of us.
Tag us, obviously,
so we know that you've entered.
You need to be following the podcast.
Aye. So
there's many. There'll be a post we'll post about it. Aye. There will be instructions.
do these 3 things for a night away at the Blytheswood Hotel, on us. And if you're a sad, lonely bastard with no one to take with you, then one of us will come along.
On all of us, I don't know.
Maybe a party.
Papa Eve.
A taxi.
Right. Peace. See you later.
Catch you.